Doctor Strange is not Marvel's first attempt at bringing the Sorcerer Supreme to everyone's eyes. There was a really bad, underline really, TV version, and we're going to show you.
Wednesday, September 6th, reach into the unknown with Doctor Strange.
Do you believe in evil?
You're telling me you're a sorcerer?
Don't defy me, Stephen, or I'll take my pleasure from you in another way.
John Mills is the power of good. Jessica Walter is the power of evil, and mankind's fate hangs in the balance. Peter Hooton stars as the man in the middle, Doctor Strange. Will the forces of evil conquer the forces of good on Earth? Doctor Strange, a special 2-hour presentation, Wednesday, September 6th at 8/7 Central and Mountain.
Fun fact, Jessica Walter played Morgan Le Fay and used that character to inspire Lucille Bluth and Mallory Archer. I made that up. But she had some notoriety back in the day. She had already been nominated for a Golden Globe. She had an Emmy win. She was a big deal. The star of Doctor Strange is a little bit less known, per se.
His name?
And I can't
Peter
find his name.
Hooton.
Peter Hooton.
Do you know Peter Hooton?
I'm sorry, I'm not as much of a buff as you.
Well, I'm a huge Hooton fan. Hooton posters
Give
everywhere.
a Hooton, don't pollutin'. I'm sorry. So yeah, this was their first attempt back in 1978. They already had the Incredible Hulk. You may remember that show. They were working to get Spider-Man on the air, also at CBS. It didn't. Spoiler alert. This was not a successful pilot. It did not go through, and pretty soon the Hulk was off the air, and that was the end of that foray into exploring the Marvel cinematic universe back in the day. I would say that is the decades older precursor to what we have now.
Yeah, and the funny thing is we look at this and we're like, oh, that's dreadful.
So bad.
And then reality is they're still trying to find out how to do these things like in modern day. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has made some good movies, and they've made some god-awful movies.
Oh yeah, which one's god-awful?
No, and not god-awful. Okay, let's not
I would say
paint it with that
not
brush.
good.
Not good. But at the same token, is like they're still finding these things out. Like I think that it is that work in progress. So this is part of that work in progress. It just so happened that it wasn't. It's seen by the large audience that we expect to see it, and thank God for that, because it seems awful. But yeah, I think that we need to withhold our criticisms a little bit more so.
That's
and be
fair.
like,
I mean, because
okay,
I
we're
watch,
still working.
the old school. I've watched like an old Batman starring
I love those. The
Adam
Batman
West
series.
and Burt Ward.
Yes.
And it's not great. And then I hate the Wonder Woman theme song. Love Linda Carter. She's untouchable. But that theme song that they keep playing, it makes me crazy because it's so hokey and corny and just emblematic of that era, which is we don't really know what superheroes are yet. So
exactly.
Campy as hell is where we're going.
That was that era. It was the over-the-top, dramatic, loud, just a completely out there version of trying to put your spin on something that was really interesting. That's what that Batman series was about, and they still took influence from that to try and make the further series. So I feel like we will probably be looking back 20, 30 years from now, 40 years from now maybe, and be like, remember all those explosions, man? Why were they so obsessed
Why
with
are they
guns
so
and
serious
explosions?
and dark? Why is everything bleak?
Why did they make them try to have this weird banter in between each other when they were trying to hang out? I didn't like that.
That's your second use of banter.
That was the banter that was in the Avengers was not banter. We have a term for that in Scotland. It's called shanter.
Whoa.
It means shit banter.
I get it.
It was shanter. It was forced.
No Dukes of Banterbury here at all.
That's very. Where did you hear that from?
I think I saw it on the internet.
Yeah, that was it's on one of those pages that's like Urban Dictionary, and they give you the full extent of the British terms.
I think I saw that in a cheeky Nando's description.
The Archbishop of Banterbury.
Yes, there we
funny.
go. I said Duke. I messed it up.
Basically means
it's not my culture.
It basically means you're a very witty individual. You have top banter.
Top bants.
Top bants.
Jeez.
Top bants. And that scenes in the Avengers had no top bants.
I see. Yeah, I mean, they're always going to follow trends. I mean, right now we're in the explosives.
Yes.
Weird off the cuff back and forths, or bants as they're called.
Yeah.
And maybe this will be very well out of the fashion, out of vogue in a few decades or years even, or maybe even soon, sooner than that. Yeah, that wasn't great.
It
was
the
the worst,
yeah.
which is Nice.
It's just everyone has their own preference as to the way you like to see these comic books taken. I have the most, like, for someone who is actually a comic book reader and has been in the past, I still follow suit with the mainstream liking of comic book movies where I like them going dark and Christopher Nolan-esque.
I think the goal is to not lose the spirit of the comic book, but to also not make it poorly. It needs to be well made. It needs to be well accomplished. It doesn't need to be pretty much an action movie with inconsequential characters. The characters matter. The characters are why this movie even exists.
Yeah, and there's a perfect example of how you can take something, make it dark, but also maintain that the spark that is a character. I think Daredevil on Netflix does a fantastic job of that, and then an awful job is Batman versus Superman, where they try to take it so dark to pointless deaths and just utterly garbage dialect between the characters. And that's where you think to yourself, you're trying to play into this era where we love this about the characters. We love what Christopher Nolan did with The Dark Knight, but you've just completely
There's
overplayed
an almost imperceivable line.
Yes, exactly.
And
like
it's one of those things that you know it when you see it, and it's hard to describe why, because it's just so many little things coming together.
there's one line. You can't kill Superman. It's not realistic. He doesn't die.
But
he is not
Listen,
man.
Batman is going to kill as many people as he wants.
I'm
okay?
looking forward to seeing that, by
This
the
is
way.
the
I
DC
will say that.
Murderverse.
Yeah, this is a
All
murderverse.
right.
With Ben Affleck taking the Towns approach to Batman. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it.
I am actually looking forward to Ben Affleck's The Batman.
Yes, very
coming
much
up.
so.
So there's that at least. This is very different from what the final product from Marvel, the current Marvel movie universe will actually produce. Maybe it has some potential. Have you seen it, and what did you think of it, audience? Let us know below in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more.